I keep telling people, you know, like if there's one genre of music I need more of, it's Scottish sex songs. It's, you know, like we keep listening to R&B and like pop, and I'm just like, this isn't doing it for me. Yeah, let's just fuck around today. I'm gonna. So, I just got back from a funeral as a guest. Yeah, so like funerals they're always kind of a trip for me, because every time I go to one, I'm like shocked at the size of a coffin. Coffins are huge wooden boxes.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, there's essentially a point in your life when you're going to walk into a forest, you're going to point at a tree, and you're going to go, when I go, I'm taking you with me. That's how big coffins are, right? You guys can relax, this bit is mostly about lasagna. So, my favorite part about a funeral is the after party, or the wake. And I say that because wakes have my favorite food, lasagna. I fucking love lasagna. Lasagna is my favorite food. It's the best thing in the world, and it shows up at every wake I've ever been to. It's gotten to a point where like my love for lasagna is screwing up my relationship with death. You know? Like I'm like starting to hang out with like old people, just like waiting, you know, or like I'll go like cruising through a cemetery with like a fork in my hand, just looking for widows. Just waiting for that next bite of sun, as I call it. Fucking love lasagna. The worst part about the funeral for me, besides the opener, is vegetarian lasagna. What's that about, right? Fuck vegetarian lasagna. Fucking vegetarian lasagna is the biggest bullshit in the world. If I go to a funeral and there's a vegetarian lasagna, I'll shoot somebody there so I can go to their funeral to have a proper lasagna. That's how Al Capone died. Yeah. My mom, she used to make a really good lasagna until Oprah Winfrey fucked it up. You guys remember Oprah Winfrey and her show? Do you guys like remember the Oprah Winfrey show?
Yeah.
It was the show that all of our moms watched. Like Oprah, like for every day for years, Oprah would just like fill our moms' heads with all these fucking ideas that we don't have to fucking deal with. Like Oprah Winfrey did to our moms what Joe Rogan is doing to white men. Just saying like a lot of shit that like the rest of us have to react to. Like I remember when I was a kid, I came home one day and there was like a bowl full of pears on the table. I was like, "What's this for?" And my mom was like, "Oh, it's from Oprah. Don't you love it?" And I was like, "All right, I'm going to ignore you for 15 years and watch Dragon Ball Z." So the reason Oprah Winfrey fucked up my mom's lasagna is Oprah, for whatever fucking reason, she had an episode on. She was like, "Hey, here's some fun, healthy food substitutions," and that completely fucked over my life. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was 13 years old. I was feeling pretty hot because I developed before my high school bully. She was like a real bitch, but like she was an A cup, and I wasn't taking that shit from her anymore. You know? Like no, I'm just like I had chest hair, and she like her. I can't forget anyway. So yeah, that's kind of a mean bit. Anyway, so I come in and I see this tray of lasagna, and I'm feeling real good. I'm like, ah man, lasagna. I take a bite like I'm at a funeral, and instead of God damn it, that hospital was okay. I take a bite and I'm devastated. And I look at my mom and I'm like, "What is this?" She's like, "It's lasagna, but with eggplant." I'm like, ah. I got it from Oprah. Don't you love it? And ever since then, I just fucking hated Oprah Winfrey. People will be like, "Man, millionaires are ruining the world." And I'm like, "Yeah, they're also ruining our lasagnas. One mom at a time." My grandpa recently died. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Like, there's no good way to pivot to that. Yeah, my grandfather did recently die, and I'm not saying that because I like lasagna. In fact, there was no lasagna involved. Yeah, that's how you know it was a tragedy. My grandfather did actually die, and that was like my first real death in life, and it really spun me out. And what's worse is my grandfather, who lives in Eritrea, which is in East Africa, and he never spoke any English, and I never spoke any Tigrinya. But luckily, while he was alive, because I experienced a language credit and he experienced colonialism, we both spoke Italian. So like the last time I spoke to my grandfather when he was alive, we were both speaking in Italian. And we were like going back and forth. But something I recognize now that he passed was, I don't remember my grandfather saying if he liked me or not. And it's not really something I'm ever going to get. That's like, there's no good end to that bit. This isn't a joke. Thanks, buddy. I'm never going to know for sure if my grandpa liked me or not. And I told my mom this, and in an attempt to like relate to me about death, she said, you know, Aron, in Eritrea when people die, we just wrap them up in cloth and we put them in the ground. It was a lovely funeral. I remember when I came to this country, it was actually at the St. Paul Cathedral. First time I experienced a death while I was in America and somebody else was in Eritrea, I went to the cathedral and I lit a candle for them. But then what happened was I turned around and I saw a big box. A really big box. And I didn't know what it was. So I walked up to it, and there's this woman who was just sleeping in the box. And I looked at my mom, I'm like, of course that was a corpse. And she was like, I didn't know that then. Because like I said, back home, when somebody dies, we wrap them up in sheets and we put them in the ground. I didn't know why this woman was in a box. I didn't know why she was all dressed up. And I didn't know why she was completely alone. So I looked at this dead woman and I said, excuse me. What are you doing? And that's when I knew she was dead. And I ran out of there. And that's the story I got when my grandfather died. And now you guys have it too. I'm Aron Woldeslassie. Thank you so much.